All right, guys. Today we are gonna be reacting to feminist accuses the show of toxic masculinity, but Andrew rebukes her. Let's jump in.
I'm a very strong believer in the fact that men and women, they really need each other, that we need to harmonize the overall relationship between each other as genders. Um, as to the toxic masculinity or femininity, I believe that both of the terms are about this or that gender trying to bring another one down in this or that way. In short, I would just describe it this way.
Oh, okay. I want to go around the table on this.
Wait, Brian, I'm sorry. I have to interject just very brief. That literally told us nothing. That
Yeah.
didn't tell us anything about
She's
what
used big words. She used big words, and both sides, both toxic, and we need to find each other, kind of thing. That's it. She didn't say. She said anything. She didn't say anything. That was interesting.
toxic masculinity is. You just said that you're a complementarian and you think that men and women need to complement each other. That does not tell us what toxic masculinity is, though.
Did you hear the last statement I said?
What's the last statement you said?
I said that either toxic masculinity or femininity is about one gender bringing another one down by any shape or form.
Okay.
Do you agree or no?
Okay, but bringing them down how?
Check the comments that were sent. This is what bringing another gender down is about for me.
I saw individuals being targeted in those comments, not genders of people. I saw individuals who were being addressed, not genders. Did you see somebody say all women or women X, or did you see individuals being addressed?
Individuals were being addressed, but would those people address those individuals the same way if they were male, for example?
Well,
they
so
were
now
doing
that's
the
an assumption,
OnlyFans.
right?
Huh?
So that would be toxic femininity, wouldn't it? Because the
Sure.
example there is that you're bringing down the entirety of men who are making those comments, and by literally making the false assumption that they're only doing that because you're women and not because they're addressing you, the woman, specifically what you said. Wouldn't you be engaging in toxic femininity by your own standard because you're judging men collectively based off of commenters who addressed individuals?
That was a gesture of the toxic masculinity from a very specific individual, but I'm not generalizing and never have.
No, you are. You're saying that it's toxic masculinity, right? That they are literally talking to only individuals because you applied it to an entire gender. You said, no, I'm not going to apply it to individuals. I'm going to apply it to the entire gender. You're being toxic. So, in other words, these people are engaging in toxic masculinity because they're collectively bringing women down. That's your claim. However, they only addressed individuals and not women collectively. So you would be engaging in toxic femininity by saying that, right?
All right, this is your perspective, but what exactly I meant by my statement is that specifically those comments that we saw that were given to this lady right here on the left, that was a gesture of the toxic masculinity for me, because such words as like, oh, Chinese girl, oh, engineer baby, those motherfuckers would not say it about the men doing OnlyFans and doing engineering
Well, now you're
major.
generalizing. You're generalizing and saying because they're women, X is happening. That would be a generalization about a gender, so therefore toxic femininity. Yes?
You definitely are reversing it in the way that resonates with you, but I don't believe that this
I
is
mean,
what
the
I'm
way
saying.
that it resonates
No.
with reality, you said if it's a generalization about a gender collectively against another, that would be toxic femininity or masculinity.
All right.
By you saying that women are being collectively assaulted, even though an individual is being addressed, that would be toxic femininity by your definition, right?
If the woman is bringing a man down, relying on his gender, this is a toxic femininity. If the man does
Yeah,
the
but if
same
women
thing,
are
it's the
bringing
toxic
down women-
masculinity. That's
Yeah, but
all.
if women are bringing down women, that would also be toxic femininity, right?
Of course,
Yeah,
undeniably.
okay, great. So then if that's the case, when you apply that a comment towards an individual is applied to all women, right? You're making a generalization about a gender, so that would be toxic femininity, right?
I don't
Yo,
understand.
right, yo, Andrew, you're literally breaking this woman's brain, man. She's literally thinking right now, folks. She's thinking. She's listening. She's thinking, but I don't think English is her first language either. She speaks very well, but I don't think English is her first language, though.
What point I used the generalization when I described the
You
action
say
of the
that,
person who
that
left the
these
comment.
people are only making the comments because they're women. Because they're women. So that person only made this comment because she's a woman. That's a generalization about women, right? You're only doing X because they're women, so that would be toxic femininity, right?
Gee,
I don't see
yeah,
it.
Andrew, I'm just breaking this lady's brain, man. She's breaking because what she's doing is actually some misandrist opinions here. She's saying all the men that are just, sending super chat, they hate women. Oh, they hate women. Although they're only talking about these females right here. But they women. These misandrists, you guys, the only thing that you guys know is just to pick up a fish and, take pictures with your fish. And that's why you guys are beneath us. I mean, the thing is that, and we talk about this in some of the other episodes, is that this is what happened with simpers. And their simp used to take over and just fill their brain with things that are not real. And what happened is when they confront a guy like Andrew's just asking questions. They get conscious distance. They don't even know what to do. Because in their mind is like, you should not be questioning me, you simp. You should not be saying those things, you simp. You're supposed to be putting me in a position that you should never question who I am or whatever I am. That case, it will be pedestalizing, right? But I don't even think you understand what they're saying.
That way. I would love to agree with you, but I don't see it this way.
I don't
No.
If it's just a generalization, a negative generalized stereotype about a gender, right? Then how is it not negative to apply what's said to an individual to an entire gender? So you're saying, he's not saying that to you, Tracy. Let's say the fictitious name is Tracy. Tracy, he's not saying that to you because you suck. He's saying that to you because you're a woman. That's a generalization about a gender, therefore would be toxic femininity by your standard, right?
All right, let's put it this way. No problem.
Okay. I don't know how else to see it.
Would you agree that the same person who left that comment together with $200, that was impressive too for me personally.
That's why she's talking about him. She's interesting. She's interested about that guy that put $200 in that super chat. That's why she's talking about him. Triggered. She's triggered. She's like, who's that guy that put $200? And he's not putting him on my pedestal. He's doing the opposite. He's telling me I'm a 3 or 4 or whatever he said, right? Lone paladin. That's why she's triggered.
I don't know. Would he say something similar if there was a guy here saying just the same things?
Well, see what you're doing there? So what you're doing is you're saying, collectively, right, women are X and collectively men are X, right? So men are not going to make these comments if these are men over here. They're only going to make these comments if they're women. That is you making a general negative statement about men, therefore toxic femininity.
Yep.
Nope, this is not about me making a statement about all the men. No, I'm talking about a very specific individual.
Well, if you say that men are not going to make these comments if there's other men there, they're only making the comments because there's women, that's a negative stereotype about men.
Okay, now I understand what you are getting at. No,
well, yeah,
that
it's
was
a
not the
double-edged sword.
intention.
It cuts both ways, right?
I hope you can just understand that I was talking about the personalities sharing those comments, and this is not about all the men. And there is not any man who would leave that comment. Not anybody male would do that. So I'm not talking about all the men. I'm talking about one person showing that
toxic masculinity by trying
That
to
doesn't make any sense.
bring
You're
her
saying
down.
you're saying that it's only because they're men that they're saying this only because they're women. Yes? Because if they were not men and were women, they would not be saying that, correct?
Damn.
That's not what I said.
That's
But
not the
I understand
point.
your
I'll just ask you directly.
Yeah,
If
that's not the point. It's a simple
these
question.
men who made the comment, right, were women, do you think they would be making that comment?
They would be able to make shitty comments, but
would
not
they?
in this
Would
manner.
they be? Would they be? Not could they? Would they?
They would be definitely, some of them at least, they would be similar to what we heard at the table when we were discussing it.
Yo, a lady just left the super chat saying that eight of these females. She's saying like, I can guarantee you that 8 of these females voted for Kamala Harris. That was a woman. That was literally a woman. She said it.
Would be many, this is how I vision it. There would be females that would say, oh yeah, I hope your daddy's gonna find out and he will be embarrassed of you, and like,
What
oh, you're a
the hell?
slut. It's gonna be
Then
also
how would
ugly.
then how would that be toxic masculinity?
That would be a toxic femininity. Are you talking about women right now?
No, how would it be toxic masculinity if you said that's toxic masculinity? Because if that were men, if that was a man sitting there instead of a woman,
Yeah.
they would not be making these comments, right?
They would make something else, and depends on who it's coming from. I would definitely state, okay, this is also toxic femininity or masculinity.
I need you guys to make your final points here on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still.
Oh damn, Brian, when he does that, man. When he does that, I don't know. It feels weird when he does that. I know he just needs to move. He's probably looking at some numbers. Probably the audience is jumping out of the stream. But again, this is a very good back and forth because he's locking her in her own position. Like she's in a position that she don't know what to go. But right when she's feeling that pressure, you know what happens, folks? Final points.
I'm still not very clear on. So to me, it just seems like any general statement which is made about any gender is toxic femininity or masculinity. So you kind of lose both ways here. Because if you're making the claim that the chatter's only saying this because they're men, that would be toxic femininity. And if you're making the claim that the chatter is saying this to them only because they're women, that would also be toxic femininity. It would be a general statement either way.
I have no problem accepting your point. It was just
Okay.
not exactly what I was saying.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm clear on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Alright.
Remember, Andrew. Remember what Kevin Simon used to say? We're men. We're dumb. We don't understand what they're saying. We're dumb. You know, we're dumb. We don't understand what they're saying. We just simply we're dumb. We're dumb. You know, ooh, ooh, ah, ah, ooh, ooh, ah, ah. We're dumb. Let me know what you guys think. I will see you in the next one.